Good morning everyone and welcome to a brand new vlog. This is the last vlog that I will record this year, which also means that we have to look a little bit back to the other vlogs that I have been uploading this year and have a little look on what actually happened. So this will be a little bit longer vlog than normal, and then we will also have a view on the totally rebranding of my company, which has taken a lot of time, and maybe you can use that information if you stand in the same position. Actually, I would not hope for you that you will come in that position because it has been quite hard. So anyway, I will try to make it in a view so you can use it, and then you can maybe avoid to stand in the same position. That will be a bit idea. So that is pretty much it, and as I mentioned, a little bit longer vlog, but I hope you will enjoy it anyway. So without further ado, let's just start this vlog. I want to point out something about your thoughts can either kill you or they can make you stronger. And that is something which will help me a lot in the past month, because I really believe that if I was thinking that, especially when it comes to these hard times and so on, the pressure and firing high, and that I could build up something good again. It's a thought, and my thought were so strong, and I was creating a strategy for myself, and I really believed in that. And then if you are in that case, and if you really believe that it's possible to reach those different goals that you then set for yourself, then it's really a no-brainer, and it's possible in many ways. But of course, if you are like negative-minded, and if you believe that, oh, this is only happening to me, and basically you're set in a position where you will not really fight for what you believe in, then you will also get that result in the end, and you will basically have an unsuccessful business. That is what I have learned from these months here, because as you see as you saw maybe in the previous vlogs, you also had that idea that I maybe were a little bit under pressure, and that has turned out to be a good thing, because right now I have made another strategy, which means that I can basically do something else in the business right now, and I can reach some new targets which I were not able to do in the previous month. So everything is really good in the company, and we have got some really nice orders, and I have started to hire a little bit of employees again. So that's a really good thing to build up a strong team again in the company. So yeah, with that being said, all right. So now to the subject, guys. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to share with you about this new company name. We have to change our company name to a new name, which is Lumega. And Lumega is chosen because it is relating a little bit more to what we actually are doing. But that was not really what we wanted to do in the first hand. We like Normasim a lot, and the only issue were that a company in Germany called Norma wanted to make a case out of this, and we have been running this case for 1.5 years now, and found out that it is not really worth using more time and money on this subject. It's a really big company in Germany, and they are a supermarket chain, which also means that they have a lot of capital, which we do not have in the same range, if you could say so. We have decided to change the name for that reason. The company Norma is a great company. They are selling to consumers and selling sometimes LED bulbs, and we are also in the LED market, but then not really to consumer based products. So there's like a mismatch, but we have told ourselves that this is how it's going to be, and we have changed the name. So the process in this sort of thing is that we have decided to make a video. And first of all, I want to share with you how it's that actually looking like, because right now it is online on LinkedIn, and that video will hopefully go viral, because we have chosen to write a little bit about what the story is behind this. So first of all, when it comes to finding out more how to like brand yourself in a way when you're changing the name, it's really important to highlight some different things. I will get back to you in a minute about that. So basically what you have to do when you are changing the company name, there is several ways of avoiding that people think that you are changing the name because of some bad projects, or there could be some bad reputation in the market and so on. There is a lot of different things that can be done if you want to avoid that. One of the things is to sit down with yourself if you own your own, and also you can sit with your team for a couple of hours and make a plan. What we did was mainly just to find out, okay, how are we able to do this in the best way? First of all, we need to make a video. So we wanted to make it really personal. So if you go to my LinkedIn, or if you go to actually just the Facebook page of Normersim, which is now Lumega, then you will also see that video, which is only around 2 minutes, where I will highlight a few things. I'll not really go into details what happened, but I will more go into details about that this change of company name do not affect anything when it comes to the products that we already have been delivering to all those projects around the world. And I think that's so important, because if you're just like changing the name and do not really say anything to existing clients and to the persons that are following you on social medias, then they will think, so why are they changing name? And they will start to think about they will build their own stories, and that is not always good. That can be good, but that's not always good. So we were creating this plan where we had the video, and then we just had the team of people who were able to make all the changes on the website, another logo, we need other emails, we need, all the links should be good again. I mean, there should not be dead links on the website and all those things. Also, you have to change the company name, like register another company name, so people are able to find you in the company register in the specific country. So there is a lot of things. So just make the checklist, find out what you should will it change and what you should take action on, and then you are able to do it in a good way so people do not make their own stories. So right now I'm still sitting with my computer here and cross my fingers that the people will like the new name, and that no one will make their own stories. So a long story, a lot of different things have happened through my mind through that 1.5 years, and I really didn't want to share that with you, because nothing was really ended and completed, and for that reason I could not really do it, because it was like lawyer stuff and things like that, and everyone knows when lawyers are involved, then you really have to keep your mouth shut, because otherwise you could say something wrong. But now the case is finished, and we wanted to change our own name. So now you have got this behind the story thing from the vlog, which also are what this is all about, the entrepreneur behind the scenes. And I must tell you, and I would lie if I didn't say this, it has been some really tough time, to make this process going on for these 1.5 years, and it is one of these really hard times where you just feel that you are walking into a wall really hard and get smashed. But yeah, it is only, things like that is only making you stronger. And I'm trying to say that to myself all the time. If you go through some really tough times, then you will learn a lot of that. And now we have registered the new company name. And of course, you should think about that as well. If you have a company right now where you really want to build up that brand and make it your own, then you should start to think about how to register your company name. And I want to help you with that for free, of course, because I know everything about that now, and it's not so expensive at all. So that was just a few advices when it comes to trademarks. Be really aware that trademarks is so important, especially when you go to other countries. One of the things that I have been using a lot of time on this year is traveling around to the different possible distributors and agents around the world, basically. I am still a big believer of that you just have to go there, because there is consultants and there is a lot of persons who knows how to make market researches, and you can get those really thick reports on how you should go to the market specific. And those reports are really good. I have had a cooperation with a guy, and we was creating those reports for Sweden and Dubai. And a lot of the information I could use for a really good case, but a lot of the other informations were not really quite correct actually, because then I went to the country and then I found out that it was actually a whole new story when I went to those meetings. And what I want to say here especially is, if you want to go to another market, I really recommend that you actually are just going there and buy the flight ticket and buy the hotel for a couple of days, and then have maybe 10 or there could be 15 meetings, even more meetings, and then you ask questions on those meetings on how the market actually are working through, and then you will get a lot of knowledge, because those persons that you have the meetings with are in the markets already. And of course they know how that is like how the markets is actually reacting to specific products. And also in my case, I'm in the building sector, so of course how architects are working with engineers, how engineers are working with architects, and also how those two are working with contractors and subcontractors like electrician companies and so on. All those steps to deliver to let's say hotel in Dubai. Those steps are really important to know before you go into the market, and that is really important when you want to go to another market. Then just do it, and then you can make the market research later, because then you also have some information to the consultant you want to hire for that specific job. So that's a really thing, and to make some reflections. This should not be so long, and you can also see some of my other vlogs from this year, where I was traveling around to the different countries. But what I have learned is, first of all, as I mentioned, just do it. Second of all is that the output from the meetings that you have from those specific traveling that you have been to, go home and then make some reflections. And then you find out if those countries are something for you or not. Because if they are not something for your services or product or what it will be, then just drop it, because there is several countries that could be a lot better for your product or services. So don't say like, okay, I have been to a country and then it didn't work out, and then you just export something like, we do that next year. Don't do that. Because if you have a specific product and you really believe, or service by the way, if you really believe in those things that you are selling or trying to give as a service in some way, then you just have to do it. Because of course there is other persons around the world who want the same thing and believe in your products or services. So my philosophy is just do it. That's it. So that's what I have used a lot of time on. Trademark is one of the last things I want to say here, because that has been a pain in the beep, because it has been quite tough. You are like trying to push your product or services into another country, and then you find out that there is actually another company in that specific country that have the not like the same name as you, but a little bit like in the same path, right? And then you just find out that those guys are a supermarket chain and they have like really high capital flow. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, but we are not like so big company, large company as they are, so we wanted not to use so much money. But then you could see that, okay, those guys are pretty like focused on winning this case. And I was like, fine, we just changed our name, right? So, but that case has been running for 1.5 years, and you can imagine that it has been, first of all, really expensive. Second of all, it has been a little bit, it has not been a funny case, right? So try to do yourself that favor that you do not make like my mistake here. Try to register your company name if you really want and you believe in your product or services and you want to go abroad with that company. Then make the registration. It is so little money. It's 2,300. I think it's like 90 euro or something like that. It's like small money for having your trademark. What you will also see, if you have the trademark for your company, like the European trademark, that could also be different places of the world, then you will see that your valuation of the company will be better. Because if you have a trademark and if you have a registered trademark, then of course your company can be sold for a higher price. So with those words, I want to thank you very much from my heart that you have been looking into those vlogs. Even though it has not been increasing so much when it comes to the different views and subscribers and so on, I still have some of you guys which are really following each of my vlogs, and I really love you for that. Because I mean, for me, it's not only like, okay, you get 100,000 views or something like that. For me, it's also about that I have a couple of people who are just really into what I'm doing and really get me feeling like, okay, you have those things like you want to say through the camera, and I can actually use it for something. And then when people are writing back to me that I used that like from London especially, there was a guy was saying, okay, the things that you said about London when you went to those different meetings, I could actually use it in my business, and now I have 2 distributors there. So I mean, helping in that way is something that I really love, and that's also why I do it here. I would also make the vlogs more into my business and talk more about my business and try to sell more. And there were actually a guy who was asking me about that. Why don't you try to sell more through those vlogs? And that's not really my thing, you know. I don't want to do that, to be honest. I just want to inspire and to give some good advices. So with those words, guys, thank you for this year. I will appreciate all of you, and Happy New Year to you, and Merry Christmas. And yeah, wish you the best in 2019. Bye.